Hey everybody, this is Seth with SethPerler.com, and this week I'm going to share with you a quick email from a parent, and she writes, "My youngest, age 11, is challenged by organization. We're working together to figure out some systems and tools to help align her success in this area." Challenged by organization. All right, look, 100% of the students that I work with are challenged by organization. They wouldn't be coming to me if they weren't challenged by organization. So I'm going to dive into this topic, and I'm going to make 3 videos for you. This is part 1, where I'm going to discuss 3 ways that you can really help tackle getting more organized and help kids who are challenged by organization. Before we get into it, let's look at why somebody would be challenged by organization in the first place. And what it comes down to is the brain, executive function in the brain. The prefrontal cortex, the front part of the brain's ability to execute tasks. Organizing requires, organizing is part of executive function. It's part of the ability to execute a task. You must be able to organize things in order to execute a task. So let's look at 2 tasks. 1, we'll look at writing a paper, and 2, we'll look at cleaning a bedroom, okay? So if you're writing a paper or cleaning a bedroom, in order to do either of those, you have to organize. You have to organize your thoughts, you have to organize your space, you have to organize the materials, you have to organize the clutter, you have to organize stuff. So if you're writing a paper, you have to organize the paper, organize your thoughts, do a good outline, do a good plan, which these kids do not like to plan. They like to just start writing and vomit all their words out, and then it goes all over the place and it's very disorganized, right? And if you look at cleaning a bedroom, you have to organize space. You have to be able to think categorically and systematize and think about where the places are for things. So what I'm going to do is, in these 3 videos, I'm going to look at 3 things that you can do either as a student to get more organized in life in general, or as a parent to help these students who are not organized. Again, this has to do with the brain. The brain is still developing. The brain will continue to develop with executive function until kids are about 25 years old. So there's a lot of growth in the brain that's still going to happen. And the more you can help these kids to have habits that really support this, the better executive function will develop. So today, I'm specifically going to talk about the first tip to help people who are challenged by organization. And the first thing you want to do is declutter. You want to get rid of clutter. You want to minimize. You want to get down to the essentials. You want to get rid of everything you don't need. There are some different domains you want to do this. You want to go through all your stuff, all the closets, under the bed, all the old books, all the old toys, all the old things that you don't need anymore, you want to get rid of. So a long time ago, I met this guy named Lou, and he was a multi-millionaire. He lived in this big mansion in Indiana, and every once in a while, he'd have people over, and this place was huge. There were 4 wings to the house, and one of the things that Lou said to me is, he said that the more stuff you have, the more stuff you maintain, because he had a lot of stuff. He actually had somebody who was living on the grounds just to maintain the lawn. He literally lived at the house just to maintain the exterior. So this is, the more stuff you have, the more you have to maintain. Now for these kids, the more stuff they have, the more they have to maintain. The more shoes they have, the more shoes they have to track. The more socks, the more they have to track. The more clothing, the more books, the more toys, the more stuff, whatever their hobby is. If their hobby is snowboarding and skiing, the more stuff that has to do with that, the more they have to maintain. There's so much stuff. So your first step is to declutter. And I will put a downloadable declutter checklist on the blog post for you, so you can download that, print it, and use it to help you declutter in a systematic way so that it's not overwhelming. But when you don't declutter, you're cluttering, and there's so much stuff that it creates not only clutter in the physical space, but it also creates clutter in the mind. So these kids who are not great at systematizing, when they have a lot of clutter, they're even more overwhelmed mentally. It takes up mental space when there's a lot of physical stuff that's unnecessary in their life. So you want to recycle it, give it to Goodwill, sell it, throw it away, whatever you need to do, declutter. So that's the first step. Now, as you declutter, your mind begins to be able to clear. As your space begins to clear, your mind begins to clear. But it's not just space and stuff, it's also on the computer. So I also want you to declutter your computer. That means getting rid of emails, unsubscribing from email lists, deleting any and all photos that you don't need. So many people have thousands of photos, 17 photos of the same thing. Like, get rid of, declutter that stuff now. Teach kids to do this early so that they're not gumming up their minds and their space and their computers with all of this stuff. People are on so many email lists. I was working with a student the other day. We were going through he had about 7,000 emails. We were going through the emails, unsubscribing from all these lists, because we would look up, he's into snowboarding, and we would look up a particular company that he had subscribed to. There'd be 100 emails from them, and he had never opened any of them. So we deleted him and unsubscribed. So you really want to be thinking those three things. 1, decluttering space, stuff, physical stuff. 2, decluttering the computer. Very important to get in that habit with the technological world we live in. And 3, decluttering your mind. And when you do these things, that will help declutter your mind, but also when you resolve internal issues and conflicts and things like that, that also helps to declutter the mind. So if you like what I'm doing, go ahead and share this video with somebody. I'd really appreciate that. And I will get on to the next video. But for now, go to the blog if you want, and you can download that free worksheet checklist to help you declutter. Just make it very clear for you. So have an awesome day. Take care.